You know, my vision for what I'm doing is like I don't really want to do the regular, who's fake celebrity thing with my podcast. Like I want to do the real stories of Richmond. The people that make up the fabric, of this city. So that's my thing. Like that's my approach. Welcome to Tom Talk Speak on It, and our guest today is none other than.
Michelle Mosby.
Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, could you tell the viewers what your occupation is?
Well, I am a salon owner of International Hair Salon. I am the founder and executive director of Help Me Help You Foundation, and I am an associate broker at Icon Realty Group.
Oh man, that's a whole lot, man.
Indeed.
Yeah, I guess we'll start at the hair salon
Okay.
because I remember back in the early 2000s before I got incarcerated, I used to come to your salon, International, in Forest Hill and get my hair cut.
Yep.
My barber name was Fetz. Is he still there?
Fats is still there. He's rolling with me.
That's a whole lot of years,
It
yo.
is. It is.
About 20 years,
It
right?
is, and we love each other. He ain't going nowhere.
Yo, next time you see Fetz, man, tell him I asked about
I
him.
will.
Okay, you said that you're the founder and director of Help Me Help You Foundation.
Yes.
Could you let the people know what that is and what it is that y'all do?
Sure. Help Me Help You Foundation deals with navigation continuum of care. So we work with our justice-involved community and their families. We want to make sure that the resources that are in the community, they're null and void if you don't know that they're there. So we want to make sure that you're clear on where the resources are, and we want to help you to connect to them. So we connect with service providers in the area so that you can get the resources that you need for success.
And I commend you on that because, in Richmond, man, we have a lot of situations where people go to jail. So just to know that it's a support system out there for them, man, that's near and dear to my heart because, I went through that struggle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I want to salute you and, we appreciate you for doing that work. How long have you been in that business?
Help Me Help You was founded in 2008, so I guess that's about 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
14 years.
Yep.
And you say you into real estate too. Let's talk about that.
So real estate, I've been in that over a decade. It'll actually be 17 years in February of 2023. I love real estate. I love houses. So I love decorating houses. I'm a house person. So I have had some great moments in time in selling real estate. I've sold to family, to friends in the Richmond metropolitan area. I love it. Absolutely love it.
In 5 bullet points or less,
yes.
Could you tell our viewers who may be interested in buying a home for the first time the process in 5 bullet points or less?
Well, generally, I'm just going to tell you what I would do. I normally get you to one of our preferred lenders. I am going to help you find your dream home. I would suggest that at this point, if you know that house buying is on your bucket list, that you would begin to do the credit pulls. You can do those for free at freecreditreport.com. Mm-hmm. Check out your credit report, see where you are, see what your score looks like, and then try to begin to build, because I believe you have to be at least a 580 to get an FHA loan. Mm-hmm. So let's try to work towards getting it to a 580. FHA also has first-time home buyer programs, grants. So we want your score to be at its best. So looking at your credit score and making sure that you're 30% less in, if you have credit cards or have debt, you need to be at least 30% in your debt to income, so that you'll be in the right place to be able to purchase.
Okay, just asking around because I'm interested in buying my own home soon.
Okay.
Somebody told me that the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate on the loans.
Absolutely.
So that's true?
Absolutely. The interest rates have creeped up just a little since COVID. And so, again, that's why I'm saying work on that credit score, because that's going to give you the best bang for your dollar. Let's just say I've had clients that before COVID, they may have been approved for maybe 280 or so. But then that was at a maybe 2 point something or 3.5% rate. But after COVID, the rates went up to 4 point something and 5 point something, which means it has now diluted your buying power. So now you're down to a $200,000 house versus the 280. And so then that changes the market. That changes what you can get. That changes how many bathrooms. That changes all of those things. So again, that credit score is important.
Okay, I think you're a native to Richmond, right?
I am.
So you're born and raised here.
Yes.
So what's your hood? You know what I'm saying, originally?
So I'm going to say that if you're talking friends and talking to me, I'm going to say Hillside. However, I'm more so a South Cityan. South Side was my stomping ground.
grounds.
Yes. I went to public schools in the Chesterfield County. Originally, we were on the north side of Richmond, my family, and then we went to Chesterfield County. But basically, my entire moment in time has been on the south side.
So at the beginning of our interview, you know, I asked, you know, what it is that you do, and you had a quite extensive list. Let's talk about that. You know, just being a woman in business. You know, what were the challenges?
Um, I'm going to say being in business, being black, and being a woman brings about its own challenges. But on a personal with the challenges, I'm going to say being misunderstood. I believe many times we can be misunderstood as black women when we're passionate and we're trying to articulate our point of view. We can get misconstrued based on our body language, based on our tonality, and will be said that we're angry. No, I'm not angry. I'm passionate about the thing that I'm speaking about. So I think it's been being misunderstood.
Being misunderstood.
Absolutely.
Wow. So you know, how do you navigate that obstacle?
So what I've had to do for myself is to be grateful for the moments that I've been extended, and so I've made some tweaks to the way that I speak. I've made some tweaks so that I can get my point across without it sounding away or being offensive or someone being able to take it in an offensive tone. I've even changed the way that I sit in a chair where crossing your arms in my world says I'm angry. So I've had to learn how to just change my body language, change the way my tones, and still be able to get my point across.
As a service provider, 14 years in the nonprofit business as a service provider, what do you think was your biggest challenge when it comes to that?
Um, Getting service providers to work together. I think it's been the biggest challenge. I think service providers and people in general are very competitive, and so in that moment, it causes us to be isolated, which means there is a loss for someone, because I don't believe that there is a nonprofit organization or any organization that can help all of the need. And so when we decide that we are working in silos and we won't come together, I think that we've lost the mission, we've lost the goal, and then the people lose. So that's been challenging to me, helping us to see that we're really better together.
You know, when you take the time just to reflect, you know what I'm saying, on your life, man, and you know all the things that you've done, if it was one thing that you could undo, what would it be?
Quitting college. And not because I think it's the thing that necessarily will take me to my next steps. It's just on my bucket list. It's just I wanted to pledge. And I didn't get the opportunity to pledge Delta because I decided to do other things. And so I have a desire to go back to college and finish.
Who would you consider locally to be an inspiration or a role model?
So there are many, but I can't start outside without starting with the two parents that I have. My mom is one of 8 who, at 40 and 50, taught herself how to read. To me, that's amazing. I watched her watch Oprah and buy books as if she was on a book club and really didn't know how to read the book. But today, she can read. I've watched my dad work at Philip Morris for 30 years and be the rock to 3 generations of women. My mom, myself, my daughter. And so those are 2 amazing people to me. And they have supported every dream that I've ever had. Even if they didn't understand it, they supported it.
Well, my next question is for the fellas. I'm pretty sure the guys in the city of Richmond would like to know, is Michelle Mosby single?
Yes, she is. She is. I'm not going any further.
Y'all hear that, guys?
Not going any further.
She's single. Hey, okay, since you're single, my next question is...
What can I ask you? Because maybe the people in Richmond want to know if the podcaster is single.
Very much so.
And is it by choice?
Very much so.
Okay, well, y'all heard that.
And I'm going to leave that one alone, like she said. But okay, since you're single, I think my next question will be safe as well.
Okay.
Who is your industry crush?
Industry crush. So it's probably weird to many, but Michelle Obama is my industry crush. And reason being is because I am now in a different state in my life. My thought process is different. I'm 53. So I've watched this woman, and I watched her in grace deal with people that came for her only because they had nothing else to do, only because they're mean. She was all well put together. She is intelligent, she's smart. She had everything that you could ask for to be a first lady, the first black family in the White House. And they came for her, and her response is, when they go low, you go high. That's her response. That to me is ultimately amazing. And then to be able to explain that going high just simply means taking that rage and working it in your passion, working it in your purpose. Yeah. It's not acting as if you don't have the rage. It's just taking it and doing something with it.
Redirecting that energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Use another one.
Well, since you're single, we're not letting you off the hook that easy. Who is your industry male crush, Michelle?
Let's see.
And why?
Let's see.
Is it that hard?
Are
the fellas that lacking?
No, absolutely not. That they're not. Because I'm trying to think of somebody not so far up in the air. Let's come back to it. I'll be ready. I'll come back to it.
We're gonna come back to that one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, a question that I may have wanted to know.
Okay.
That I haven't asked you already. When was it that you decided it was time to take your life in a different direction?
I don't know if it was necessarily I decided. I think it just kind of happened. I remember for me becoming an advocate. So I believe I've always been a person that served. If someone is to ask my mom, about Michelle and helping people, that's what I did. I enjoy it. But I think the advocacy piece and the public service piece for the reentry community or the justice involved community, I think that happened because for me, my friends and my acquaintances, they went away. And when they came home, there was no resources, there was no tools in place for them to be successful. And I can't say Tom wasn't my friend. Tom was.
Yeah.
I can't say that this one and that one that came home weren't my friend, because they were. And so to me, for me not to do something just is not who I am. So it changed the trajectory. It changed my moment. I went to council, and the council person that I had in the ninth district said he was going to help, and he didn't. So I used my anger differently, and I ran against him, and I beat him.
That's dope. Do you think that dating in Richmond is challenging?
So my daughter says it is for me. She says she thinks it is. I think it's the timing. I think that everything is going to happen in its timing. I've been married before. I'm different, so I know that whenever that next relationship for me happens, it's going to be different because I'm different. And I know that God loves me, and so I know He knows that I want my person. And so I just believe in the right time, person will be here.
You know, for me, I kind of like the idea of a relationship. And then when I try to get in one, it feels like I got a second PO. You know what I'm saying? So,
That is funny.
I mean, that's how I be feeling. And that's why I run,
Okay.
But,
So what? So when you say that, then what is it that you have you written down? Kind of what it is that you're looking for? Because let's be clear, there's not a woman that's not going to want to know something like.
just don't interrogate me. You know what I'm saying? If it's a question that makes sense, then, ask it. But don't interrogate me. Either you trust me or you don't. Some of those questions be a little bit too encroaching. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it communicates that you don't believe me. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying?
Gotcha.
So, I don't like that.
Okay.
Also just respected my boundaries. Being incarcerated and being locked up around all those people for so long, sometimes, man, you're very protective of your space.
Okay.
So sometimes, a woman that deals with me need to know how to read me and know when they need to give me a little room.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it's
So-
not rocket science, ladies.
So
You
wait,
know.
wait. But so when we say that, because again, for a man to know what a woman wants without her expressing it. So let's just say, if I see you with the guys all the time, but yet you want me to give you space, that's gonna have to be a conversation, because to me, you're seeing it as the same way that you're seeing that you've been away. She's seeing it as you ought to be sick of wanting to be with them all the time. So I shouldn't have to fight for your time. So I think that there's going to have to be some give and take there in the thought process between your time.
Well, suppose it's not a group of guys. Suppose it's a group of females, because I like to smell her perfume. You know what I mean? But they're my friends. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So how
Okay.
let's talk about that.
So then the question becomes, if she has a group of male friends that she is with consistently, is that going to work for you? And if that will, then that's something y'all have to work through. But if it isn't, then you can't ask her to do something that's not going to be okay for you.
Ladies,
I'm just saying.
you can quote me on this. I don't ask questions I don't want the answers to. I'm not a private investigator. I'm not going to look for it. Just move smooth. Like, if you got some other stuff going on, just do it the right way. And, and that's just how I generally feel about it.
Okay.
I like to come up here and just, kind of just look at things, man, because it kind of helps me put things into perspective. I can see growth, in the city. You've been around for a while, Michelle. What is the biggest difference that you see in the city now from when we was coming up?
I see more of us involved. I see more of us. I'm not going to say who were maybe a part of some of the problem. We've all made some decisions that we coming back to right some of our own wrongs. And I see resilience in us. I see us being a lot of what I described. I see in this city of lack of coming together. I see us being able to do it even when we don't agree. And I think that's going to be a great change, a game changer for Richmond.
For me, it was like when I came home and I rode through Shockoe Bottom and I seen the Shockoe Bottom was black. I was like, wow. We here now. Before I left, Shockoe Bottom was white. When I came home, Shockoe Bottom was black. So, I felt like things was happening and that it was time for me to, just kind of get focused and figure out, what it is that I really wanted to do.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you, man, for coming out tonight, man. For real, for real. I learned a lot about you today.
Did you?
For real, I did. It was not only interesting, it was just very informative, And I've told you this before, but I respect you greatly. Keep pushing.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We've said it, and it's real.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Keep pushing. The funny thing is, we actually grew up together.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that. We're not going to say our age.
No, we're not.
But I had the pleasure of watching her turn into the person that she is. So, when I say that I salute her, it's genuine and it's from the heart. Michelle, man, continue pushing for greatness, man.
I appreciate you. You're going to be right there with me. We're going to push this thing.
Already.
I appreciate you.
In the realm that we exist in, you got to be a little bit aggressive. You know what I'm saying, as a business person. and some people take that for being malicious, but...
And that's not that's
so not the
far
case.
from what, the intent is.
It's just we know we got to push hard because,
You won't be heard. You won't be seen, and they'll keep choosing others that are not doing the work.
Yeah. And then not only that, like some people not going to get your vision because it's just not for them to get.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, ride the wave.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to get comfortable with letting other people drive. And I've struggled with that. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that I'm really working on as far as, me and building myself up.
Gotcha.
But...
And it takes it for all of us. I'm trying to tell we all are a work in progress.
Yeah.
And anybody that tell you they're not, they're lying.
The hardest part about this job is, I'm a soldier. So, one thing about a soldier is a soldier's going to go out there, he going to do the work, he going to observe the field, and he going to bring back intelligence. What frustrates a soldier is sometimes when people disregard the intelligence, because then it's like, well, what is my purpose? You know what I'm saying? You got me out here, but you ain't hearing me. So I think like that's been my biggest struggle as far as, just trying to figure out, this new life that I'm living, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's comfortable, sometimes it's very uncomfortable. I really don't even like it when it's comfortable, because, that's when the stuff comes, because you're off guard. I kind of like to be uncomfortable for real. Because that's when I work hard, that's when I'm in my best, So, I guess it's true what they say, a little bit of agitation is good for the soul.
Good for the soul.
Yeah. Look at us.
We're getting it in. We're making it happen.
Fake celebrity thing with my podcast. Like, I want to do the real stories of Richmond. The people that make up the fabric, of this city. So that's my thing. Like, that's my approach. When I decided to put my hat in, my thoughts was, what can I provide that's different?
Right.
And if I couldn't figure nothing out as far as that went, I wasn't even going to touch this. But I think it's for me to get out here and tell the real stories. That the news people don't care to broadcast.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm here. And hopefully the people will embrace it.
I think they will.
So now I'm going to grab